monitor.
Paula Danielle's story.
Hey, hold on. Welcome to everybody to the Real on Parenting. Listen, today's show is just going. Well, let me first of all, I'm Coach Kiana.
Right, let's back it on up.
And this is my co-host,
Therapist Danielle. Hello, everyone.
You was waving.
No, because my brain. I've only had two sips, so the brain was saying hello, but the mouth didn't say it just yet. Once again, hello, everybody.
And if y'all are watching via Facebook, via the KCCR app, then you see two beautiful faces joining us, Miss Paula Hammond, Miss Jamie Puckett. Okay. So first of all, welcome, ladies. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, if y'all have been rolling with us for a while, y'all remember Jamie as Auntie Jamie from the Shaw Nuff Radio.
Right.
We had our blog talk radio.
Shaw Nuff
Radio. And we went through a transition, but it wasn't a breakup. And we thought about it. We never made an announcement or nothing. It was just like, we're done. But so first of all, shout out to Cassandra Calloway, Callywood.
Yes.
So Danielle had a baby.
I did.
I was pregnant and needing to sleep at least 20 hours a day. Danielle was only getting 4 hours of sleep, and she's used to
24 seconds. Okay.
And Danielle was like, I can't do it. I was like, I can't either.
That was what, 10 years ago?
That was I was pregnant with Kayla. 11.
I'll say it was over 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was like almost 12.
Janelle is 13. Yeah, it's over.
So it was a whole situation, y'all. I could not do it. Danielle could not do it. So we was like, Jamie, we can't do it. And so Jamie was like, well, I ain't doing it without y'all. So
right.
But you are the show. Had a goodbye show or anything like that. But we want y'all to know that we did not break up as friends. We just stopped the show because life was happening. Yeah. Things happen, and the show always had to be live. There was no pre-record or anything, so we had to be on at a certain time. Yes. Listen, if y'all know me, my bedtime since Kayla has been born is 8:30.
And it is right.
So it was just not a thing.
I feel it.
You feel it?
I feel it. Casey's bedtime is 8. My bedtime is 9.
Right.
And he be in the bed at 8 o'clock. Sure.
Right. And whatever you're doing for the whole 30 minutes that you got to down, come down from your day, that's fine. As long as it's in your room. Right. Yep. So just so y'all know, Auntie Jamie is still very well. We are still girls. It's all love. And she has added somebody to the circle who actually was already in the circle even back then, because I met y'all at the same time.
Yeah.
I met y'all at the same time. So Paula and Jamie are real life besties, and you can catch their show. What's the name of y'all show? Because I should have wrote that down.
Your favorite besties.
Your favorite besties.
Your favorite besties.
We are your favorite besties, but our show is 10-minute talks with your favorite besties.
Okay, so explain to us what this is.
Paula.
So it's
you sound like me. I'm like, Kiana, you got this. Thank you very much. We know our roles.
So we go live at our lunch break. And so there's not a lot of time. So we said 10-minute talks, which it typically will go over 10 minutes, but it really is letting the people in on our Jamie and I's conversations. So we typically on the way to work, we talk. We talk on the way to work and we talk after work. So these are just our normal conversations, us perusing Instagram, seeing something crazy like, oh, what do you think about that? Or just situations people may tell us, share with us different things.
Pause, Paula. We're teachers. Y'all need to know that.
I was going to put that in. I was going to put that in.
We're teachers. So we get our 30-minute lunch. And so, we just get on and we just talk. And it typically they're organic conversations. We do talk about so what should we talk about? You know what I mean? Things like that. And the conversation just flow. And that's it. They just flow. And, since we're live, people will comment and say different things, which makes it more interactive, things we don't think about. So that's pretty much it. I think people sometimes are shocked, because there's things happening in the classroom. Now, mind you, it's lunchtime. However, students eat in the classroom at lunch. So at any given moment, someone's like, hey, can I do this? But the students kind of, they know that we're live. You know what I'm saying? They've gotten so used to it because we've been doing it for a while that they will come in, ask their questions. But at any given moment, there's some sidebar things happening. But it really is just us, our conversations, and letting people in on conversations. And there's sometimes like, you know, we'll have topics or things that say a colleague has shared about a situation with other colleagues. So we kind of dance around that. Like, should we? Sometimes we pause. Should we? Because I think they'll know that situation and really feel, oh, what? Yeah, that happened. That happened a few times this year. I'll be like, Jamie, so such and such told me this. What do you think? She was like,
shots fired.
But what we tend to do is we'll pocket that conversation for later. So like it just happened yesterday. Paula and I discussed it. So we're gonna save it for next week so it's not so fresh. But we're gonna talk about it.
Right.
We're gonna talk about it. We save it. We just save it. Because if it just happened and we talk about it, they'll know.
That's very telling.
Right.
Yeah. So I have a question. So are your lives every Monday through Friday during lunch, or is it certain days?
It should be every Monday through Friday, unless we have like special events happening or some very rarely like the day is a bit much. And so we just need to use that time to decompress. That's rarely. But sometimes during lunch, they'll have an activity or something that the teachers need to be involved in. So we go and do that. And depending on what it is, we'll still go live. It just won't be our regular 10-minute talk conversation. We go live from Paula's Facebook, which is is it Paula K. Hammond, right?
So Paula K. Hammond.
And then we go live from our Instagram, which is Your Favorite Besties. So it's Your Favorite, and then Besties is spelled Besteez. So
Teez. Okay. All right.
There's a lot of when I was trying to figure it out, the spelling, there was a lot of people using that. So I was like, I had to play around for a while to get that. But yeah, we typically, and other times if we're not at work, that would be a time where we're not at work. You know, sick day happens.
And we don't say that. We just be like, you know, we just had a lot going on.
Yes. Because
you know, somebody
as well.
Somebody like to take vacations during the school year. I mean, you know, so we have to. I mean,
why would she use her time? Not for the summer.
Maybe was that a shot fired? I hope not.
First of all, I didn't even say who it was. So
it was the timing of it all. So you should have waited till next week. Just held a little bit longer.
Sometimes I've been gone during the school year. These are self-care moments, or I was under the weather for a few days.
You know, no place to get better than Cabo, right? Like that.
or
they got fresher air.
Or Paris, right?
Or Barcelona.
I'm not here to tell you how you can get your self-care. Therapist Danielle would absolutely be team go to Paris and be sick.
I would. Is it healthy? Is it healthy to go? That's my suggestion.
Absolutely. And when you come back, you're better for the young people, and they know it.
They do.
They know that, like,
they a whole 90 days.
They know that my self-care is very important.
But Jamie, what would you do during the summer if she went on vacation while y'all was off? What would you do?
She do keep me active. She be having me skating and stuff out in these streets, in these summertime streets, you know. And what do I do at work while she gone to Paris?
Teach,
ma'am. Also, but here's the thing: we're so in sync that if I'm not going to be there, she's not going to be there. It would be we communicate. Hey,
okay,
I'm not coming, or I have such and such to do, or she has an appointment or certain things, or so it would be just strange if I wasn't there at work and I did not let her know ahead of time.
Oh, I'm calling her mama. I'm calling her
feel away. Like, wait a minute.
As you should, right?
Are you okay?
Right. That's how we operate.
Is she in the hospital? Right.
Yeah.
She will want to be.
So
and they should have called me because I'm her emergency contact. Right.
Yeah. So
Like
so we
it's with
communicate.
us, it's to the point if people don't see us on campus, they'll ask me where she is, ask her where I am.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So
That's pretty much, yeah, it's a thing. It's a
All
thing.
right.
But you know what? I feel like it's absolutely really on the other side of it. It's healthy for our students to see friendship and
Yes.
genuine friendship among adult women,
Yeah.
especially for our young Black girls to kind of see like here two Black women who are really down for each other. Like
Right.
absolutely, their friendship is very, very solid, and they see it because we show that to them, so they already know. You know what I'm saying? They know like if I have, her class and I come into Miss Hammond's class cutting up, she's absolutely going to communicate and say, well, why are you doing my best friend like that? Like, why are you not? So I feel
You
like,
got her back and she got yours.
absolutely. So it's good for them to see what genuine friendship in adult women looks like because maybe they're not seeing it or don't know what that's like. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
that's another
And
part of it.
I would like to say that you guys provide so many facets of life lessons and examples. And what I tell parents, well, are you showing it? Because you're saying it, but are you showing it? Are you modeling it?
Mhm.
And we can all agree from our different positions and our roles and just life experiences, what kids have today is not it. It just, it's less and less as far as models, healthy references, healthy outlets, and then just a support system
Yeah.
where we've heard before, like where school is the outlet, but it really becomes the support system. So whatever aspects that the school has or does not have, that's what the students have or don't have. So for you to be mindful and aware of the aspect of relationships, all aspects of you guys together, your dynamic, they're watching
Mm-hmm.
and they're seeing that, oh, is this how this is supposed to be? Like we hear about it, but that's what it looks like. So
And the
you guys
fact
are
that
demonstrating it as well.
they can experience it their 4 years of high school, go to college, and then come back to visit, and y'all still rolling. You know what I mean? Like that's an amazing example. Because, like I said, we met at the same time. That was for sure 12 years ago, right? And so you've had several kids go through at least 3 cycles, right? Like
Yeah.
freshman to high school. Actually, more because like it ain't like it just restart, but like they get to see that over the years. And we were talking about how even now there are still students who come and talk to you guys years later. We have some mutual students because
So grown students, give them a new title.
Right. So just a
Wrong.
little
Yeah,
background.
wrong.
At the time when I met them, I was running my leadership academy at the high school, right? And so there were kids who were in the program who still call today. They still inbox me, they still call, they have babies. We on their heads. I will tag Paula in a minute.
Yes.
Like, hey, so and so is out here just being wild, like let's reel her in together. And we can do that. And the students be like, ah, dang, I forgot y'all know each other, right? But they get to see the dynamic and they get to see that even years later, they can reach out to us and we're still there. And Paula, you were talking about that, like how it doesn't stop. Let's talk about that a little bit more.
It just doesn't stop. I feel like when you build relationships with them during high school and they know like, and I take the stance of like, I'm available to you after high school if you want that relationship. There's some students who I've never seen since they've graduated, haven't communicated. So I feel like the season for us was when they were in high school and I did all that I could. But I also just, if you still want the relationship, then I'm absolutely there for you. Like I have a young lady that watches our favorite besties all the time. She's getting ready to get married. And she was like, my favorite besties are going to be there. So I reach out to her. She has a dynamic going on, right? And it's funny because in our show, her and her sister watch, and sometimes their mom watches or whatever. She's planning for the wedding. And sometimes I'm a little shady, just a little bit. I made a mention about who's the maid of honor, something in the bridal party. And her sister was like, you were being messy. You were absolutely, so there's a dynamic going on with the younger sister getting married. Older sister is
Feeling some type of way.
feeling feeling a little way. They're probably going to watch this, so I won't say too much.
Sure,
But
understandable.
we're still in their lives, and so Jamie and I are coming to the bridal shower. We're absolutely invited to the wedding, and she's excited. My favorite besties are going to be there. It's going to be a vibe because you two are going to come and support me.
Yes.
So I feel humbled. Honestly, I do. I feel humbled when they've gone on and they still value you and want you to be an adult in their life. Because if I'm in your life, I'm gonna possibly still call you on your stuff. You know what I mean? Tell you about certain things. Even sometimes when I've seen things, I've had former students have baby daddy drama, and I'm like, hey, don't post that. You know, I get that you're having issues, but that's not the forum to air him out on social
Right.
media.
Right.
And even have another student, another teacher also say, hey, like, I get it, I understand, but that's not the forum. You know what I mean? And just feeling comfortable enough in myself to say, because really, at the point, they're a certain age, they can be like, you know what, Miss Hammond, thank you, I'm grown. I haven't
Right.
had that experience where someone's done that because I still feel like they respect me enough to receive the information, and I love you. So I'm gonna tell you, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say, hey, you know, for me, it'll be the posting things, the crazy, like, okay, your relationship seems a little rocky. Maybe not wanting to post all of that because you still gonna be with them.
Right.
Right.
You still
Let's
gonna
be real. Okay. Right.
Let's
Right.
talk
You
about
talking
how
about
people
time,
don't see
right?
you after you talk about how he ain't ish, and then they see y'all
I had
next
a,
week
I had,
together.
I had a former student do that. She's in her 30s, aired them out. The screenshots, just all the things. And I'm still supporting and I'm, you know, hey, you doing good, doing all the check-ins. Fast forward to a few months later, the engagement ring. Wait. I said, wait.
We confused. We the IG
First,
family. We are a
but
bit
I first
confused on what
said,
happened.
but first I said, congratulations. Congratulations. Are you sure? She was like, we're working it out. We're in therapy. That's all I needed. I'm going to support you if that's the path
Yeah.
that you've taken. But that is why potentially airing him out and all the things and the screenshots talking about
Right.
horrible probably wasn't necessarily the best because it leaves you looking, you know what I'm saying, some kind of way. So those are the situations where sometimes I'll pop in even when they haven't asked me to, but I want, you know, I want you to be okay. And I don't want you to look a certain way for all the people that are not really invested, but they're laughing at you.
Right. And something that you mentioned as being a therapist is relationship. You guys are building relationships kind of actually with all the students, whether they take heed to that and grab onto it and build, or they kind of like, I'm not, you know, I don't know for whatever reason. But within it is building that relationship. Within building that relationship, there's trust.
Right.
You got within the result of them coming to you, you know, and I'm pretty sure you guys have heard it all. And some things y'all like, oh, wow, I ain't heard that one before. You know, because we hear some stories, right? Like, oh, it's always a strawberry on top that happens. But they're showing that they trust you in their vulnerable state. And for you guys to not react, you know, but more so what your response is supportive. You know, it may be calling you on, come on now, you know what I mean? It's that honest factor, that the fact that they trust you. And that's why they hold on at 35, you know, at their big grown age of 35, you know, and also structure. Because as babies, as children, we are very easy to understand that children need structure. Just because you're an adult does not disregard you from the fact that you're human. So we still need structure to some capacity. So when you have environments where structure really was non-existent or very minimal, when you do experience, it's kind of like, I like that. A lot of people don't realize that that's what it is, but you guys provide a sense of structure, whether that's lunchtime, we're listening. You know what I mean? It's consistency.
So first of all, my house is a madhouse. Like, I know y'all can hear my dog barking, my kid running back and forth. Alexa is chiming in. She want to be on the conversation. So, but yes, structure and trust. So just like Shaw Enough Radio, Paula is like a mom to a lot of people, and I'm like the auntie, right? So, and you know, we're besties. So if somebody comes to Paula, they already know that they get my 2 cents regardless if they want it or not. Because I'm drunk.
Right.
Right.
It's a package deal. Okay.
It's a package deal. But you know, and so once they realize that we are a package deal, like they feel even more supported because if she's not there, they have me, you know, they already know that they at least have two people on campus that has their back. You know, they feel like they can come to us about everything from home life to school life to personal life, you know, social things, whatever it is, they know that they can come and talk to us, good, bad, ugly, you know. But then the other aspect of it is because they know us and because they know that we're best friends in real life, like we see each other outside of school, they know that we give them the real. So like I said, we're in each other's lives and we talk every day. We talk every morning on the way to work. We talk at work, you know, during lunch, and then we talk on the way home from school. So on the way home from school, we're debriefing the day. You know, like what happened? Such and such came here, such and such said this. Did you see such and such? Oh my God, I'm so tired. I'm over her, I'm over him. You know, so those are our conversations. We debrief the day.
Yeah.
But then we also have our own personal lives that we discuss as well. And so our students know and they realize like these are real women. They've been here, they've grown up, they've been in the streets as teenagers and in college. They went to, don't make that face. They went to college, you know, they're in an organization, you know, just all these different facets, and they have children and, you know, all these different things. Paula has a grown son, I have a young son. So all these different things, and we all have our own friendships. And so even on our show, we've discussed our own personal situations. Y'all might not know that there are personal situations, but they be our personal situations.
Okay.
You know, so like
now I'm like mental note.
Right.
So
that one wasn't on hold.
No,
that needed
fine.
to be kind of put out there.
Maybe our
Yeah,
personal situation.
a lot of them are personal situations, like whether they're her friends' situations or my friend's situations, or even a situation that I've been in with my friend. You know, like earlier last year, if you go back, there are some real conversations about me having a friend breakup.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that episode or that conversation, it probably took on like maybe 2 or 3 different shows.
Yeah,
and so and then when we're in the show and we have people commenting, especially when we're on Facebook, a lot of the comments come from your Facebook, right?
I feel like they do.
So the people that are watching our show, they're free to comment. And so we're kind of having conversations back and forth. And when they jump in and they comment and they add their 2 cents, that spurs our conversation into like 50 different directions.
50 different
and it gets deeper and deeper and deeper. And sometimes our students are sitting there listening and they're like, wow, you guys went through that? You guys did that? So they know that we have experience in the same thing that they're going through.
Right.
You know, like, because she has one young lady, she just graduated last year and she was in a relationship with a girl and it was bad. And we're like telling her, like, y'all need to break up. Y'all need to break up. And she's like, I know. But then when we tell her our situations, then she understands, like, this is why we're telling you that you need to leave her alone, because we've been there before.
Yeah.
We've seen it. We know exactly where it's going, you know? And so you might think that it might get better, but we're already telling you that we've been there, we've seen it, we've done it, and it's not.
And then it's tough when we're telling that young person, because remember being a teenager and your parents seeing some things that you don't see. You know what I'm saying? And just not wanting to listen, having kind of that intuition, like, yeah, they may be right about it, but I love it. You know what I'm saying? And so telling you, you know, there was times, I mean, she came to me all year. And so she would be telling me things. Jamie would come in. I'm like, girl, listen to this. And Jamie would listen and we'd both look. And she's just looking at us like, I know, but she needed us to really kind of stand in the gap to continue to tell her and continue, you know what I'm saying? And so like
I'm sorry, P, the part about it is, as a parent, you're like, you need to break up with her. You need to leave her alone because she ain't right. I don't want her hurting you. But as a teacher and a mentor, we're like, you know, I'm just telling you, it's not going to end well, but do what you want to do.
Yeah.
I'll be here to help you pick the pieces up because it's going to fall apart.
I think that's important. So I always tell my daughter, Kayla, like, here are the women that you can go to. You know what I mean? Like I trust these women, and she trusts them because I trust them, right? So she can go to Auntie Danielle. She could go to Auntie Naisha. Like she knows she has people in the circle who are a safe space because they're not going to call and tell me what's going on unless it's something detrimental, right? They really treat the confidentiality of the conversations with respect because I told them that that's exactly what I want them to do. Like don't like come tell me if I need to get involved or if I need, you know, bail money or whatever, right? Otherwise,
Kiana,
like
Kiana, that's
yeah.
why my friendship broke up.
Wait, look,
And we talked about
almost
that on the show. We
detail.
talked about that. We talked about that on
Well,
the
I
show.
didn't hear that show, so let's go.
Well, exactly what you're saying. That's what I did, and that's what I was, and she didn't like it. The mama didn't like it.
So here's the thing, because sometimes parents, and this is the situation that I am currently in. Sometimes parents feel like you should have came and told me, right? And my thing is, depending on the age of the child and what the situation is, like if the child is 30, I'm not calling you, right?
27.
Okay, yeah. I'm not calling
So
you.
it sounds like that relationship needed to end 2 decades ago. I'm just saying.
Watch the show. Go back. Go back.
I
and watch
will.
it.
And I will
Go
have
back and watch
notes
it.
and be like,
But as mentors, right? Because I step into the space not as a teacher, but as a mentor. When I'm working with young adults and youth, I am stepping in as that cool auntie. You know what I mean? And we all know the auntie that could say things, or like our mom's been saying the same thing for 10 years. And we like, you never told me that. But that auntie say it one time and it clicks, right? And so I try to be that cool auntie for them, but at the same time, the auntie, they're like, hold on now, because Auntie Kiana, you know, I got thug life tatted on my stomach. Like, don't play with me. Like, if I snatch you up, like, please know, I done had a conversation with your mama. She is absolutely okay with this 1-2 punch that's about to happen. For those of y'all who think you finna write in about me being violent with kids, please know this is not an actual situation where I have. Well, no, there are some kids that could say I gave them a 3-finger slap to the head like that. That is the thing. But they mamas was okay. Don't write us, because you know
there were no marks or bruises. Everybody
right.
okay.
And as we have said before, we still 2 girls. Well, we still 4 girls from Compton. Like, don't play. So when you write in, be nice. All right. That being said, I think it's really important that our kids have an outlet outside of us that we trust, that they trust. People of sound mind, because everybody not of sound mind. You know what I mean? Like, so that's another thing. If it's the friend that you only tell certain things to, that's probably not the friend to advise your kid.
Kids,
But
right.
That safe space for your child that they can go and they can talk to a person, get some good advice, and you know that when they walk away, they're going to make a great decision that's integrity based, that is that they can lead with their confidence and lead with their integrity and all that, just because they talk to a person that you all agree was a good person. So I think that is great that you ladies are that for high school students, because let's just dive into this part. High school students are in a special place where they are like fighting for their independence. Their parents are like, but you're still dependent. And so there's this balance where interdependence is not happening, right? Because parents are still trying to be like, but you're not grown. Like you know, I told someone, being 18 just makes you an adult dependent. It don't make you grown. Like if you still live in my house, being 18 don't mean nothing here, right? Like you can't be in the next room getting your freak on because you're not a roommate. Roommates pay half of everything. Roommates like don't need me for their gas money. They don't need me for their food, their lights. Like roommates pay half, and I don't need no roommate. I don't need no roommate. I be handling all these bills by myself, right? So because of that, it's the eye roll for me, Jamie. But that being said,
if I could go back
and just do the dishes,
stay longer, right?
Yeah.
Do the dishes, take the chicken out when she told me to. Like, drive my daddy to the store, clean my bathroom, make up my bed. Like, if I could
and get in the house by a certain time, because as you get older, you don't even want to be out late. Like when the street lights come on, I'm in the house.
Oh, it's getting dusk. Like, no, it's time to go to the house. It's time to be at home.
Don't even invite me if it starts after 6 o'clock, okay? Because that's the time I'm headed home.
Absolutely.
So, as teachers, what do you, okay, so school is back in for some, getting ready to start for some. Oh, I'm sorry, Jamie. I didn't mean to
Yes,
trigger you.
yes,
I didn't mean to
I
trigger
know.
you. Like, I feel like I brought the whole mood. Look at Paula's facial expression. I done brought
We
the
can
whole
explain
mood.
what just happened, okay? We can explain what Coach Kiana just shared was triggering to the teachers to and
To
in the
return to
aspect
school.
of just a reminder that it is close and but evidently we didn't know that it wasn't something that was actually said out loud until it happened, until the first day, until you're driving. I guess until you
Yes.
walk in your office, it's like,
And
well, here
and
we are.
not even that for Paula. Like she'll be there in physically, but
Oh, see,
mentally
she be
and
able to
spiritually, she's
disassociate
somewhere
me
else.
like
I
I'm
don't
not
check
here.
until later,
For
but that's me.
sure.
I
For
Okay.
for
sure.
sure
Every
I get
year.
them physically, but every year I don't check until later. Seriously, I don't.
I,
Maybe,
I, I get that.
you know what
But
I
as
mean?
parents, we be like the day before
Wait,
school, we usually spend a night in the parking lot. Like,
no,
what?
it was 3.5 weeks. Janelle, where's the list? We got to get the stuff. We are prepping. Because like today, she's ready. We got still got a whole nother week, but we ready right now.
We
You
ready
will be
right
on
now.
time.
We are
So,
ready. We are, listen, I went and
so
got
we
the schedule
appreciate you
on
teachers,
Friday.
okay?
I got the schedule on Friday. I was like, I don't see a Spanish class. She need a language. Caleb was like, I really want to do choir, but she got a couple of advanced classes. So I was like, let me figure this out. But when I tell you that
Yes.
the out of school stomach got to go back to school, that desire to eat every 20 minutes, yeah, you got to take that all the way back to the school. So that being said, um, Danielle mentioned that they have a list. I have two questions. So first of all, what do y'all need from us as parents? And don't be
Yes.
ashamed to say tequila. Don't be ashamed.
I'll say not the school district list, but as being a teacher, like what are things? I'm not bringing you alcohol. No, I may send you like a digital coupon because I'm not physically walking in because we got to be discreet, okay? But
Listen,
as
I pulled up
teachers,
in the pickup line and I was like, here go a gift. Thank you so much.
no, I am not that parent.
I volunteered in the classroom one day and I was just like, how you don't have alcoholism as a problem and a felony? I don't get it. So let me hand
Yes,
you this bottle because
yeah.
baby, I love
I'm
you.
the parent. Will be
So
like
what do
check your
y'all
email.
need?
So
For me, I need parents to not call their students during the school day while they're in the
this happens.
classroom.
Why are they not working? See, I already knew I could not be a teacher very, very young because and now I'm being so real. I'm being for real. But when you have where the children grow up to be adults and they have not had that structure, they have not had certain needs that needed to be met. When they become parents, no, when they give birth and they created a child and the physical child is here, it doesn't metamorph into the logical thinking. So, prime example, you're not at work, even if you're not at work, why are you ringing your child phone?
Right, because they are in
Even if you told them to put on silent, like stop.
All right, so tell us what y'all need. Don't call your kid.
Be present.
What does that
Be
look like?
present.
What does that mean?
Attend functions if you can, or communicate with me. When I communicate with you, I need you to respond as a responsible adult and not a child, or not so lackadaisical.
That sounds juicy. What? Give me an example. When you say respond as an adult, not a child, what does that look like? What happened?
Oh my goodness. Hold on.
She
My
said, what
child.
happened? No problem.
Okay, Paula, give us, yeah.
So I teach culinary arts, so it's a little bit different because my babies, they want to be there. So definitely the phone situation, being actively engaged. You get a lot of students say, well, my mom's calling me. Can I take a call? That happened so much this year where I was just like, go ahead, maybe it's an emergency. But they're not. They're not emergencies.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So cell phone thing is absolutely an issue. Just really understanding like they're at work. Your young people, they're at work working. So to constantly contact them or need certain things that are not dire, what is the issue? You know what I mean? Because I remember my son in high school, there weren't major issues where I needed because he's able to get home on he has his own plan on how he's getting home. So all those little things, it was very rare So just communicating with them in the school day, that needs to absolutely stop. I need my young people to come with a positive attitude, ready to be engaged. I also need you to communicate with me, possibly if today's not your day and you're not gonna, I'm fine with that. If you come in, because I could tell, if you're not
Right.
feeling it that day, it's okay to communicate with me and say, hey, this is what's going on. But when you cross the threshold to room 74, if you're not right, then I tell you, you need to step outside and fix your energy. Don't come in here like that.
Mhm.
They know the
Yes.
candles are burning on my desk. Sometimes the lights are dim. Sometimes selection radio is going on. We're setting the tone and a vibe. You know what I mean? When you come in, good morning, you're going to speak. Good morning, how are you? I'm going to ask you how you are. You in turn will ask me. And that's how I set the tone. So when they do those things, we tend to have really good days. And if we're not having a good day, we could reset. So I just need parents and just reinforce like when they're at school, she, he, they are the adults in charge of you. And there's a certain level of respect. And so I find myself sometimes telling my young people, I'm not your parent. They love you. They cared you. I'm your teacher. Seriously. And so there's certain things I require. Maybe you and your mom or dad are friends, and that's how you relate. I'm the elder here. That's it. Because now I'm at the stage after teaching for over 20 years, I'm older than some of my parents. You know what I mean? And what I've also come to realize, they're not, think about growing up in the 80s. They're just universal things that Black parents did and how it was a universal way we were probably all
Right.
being raised, right?
Right.
That doesn't so much exist as much. And so different things are not happening where I think you should know this or you should behave this way. We're dealing with young people that are like, well, I respect you if you respect me. No, that's
Right.
not, no. And I reinforce, you have to respect the position.
Right.
That's it. I respect my boss. I don't have to ever like him.
Like them.
I
Right.
respect his position. He is my boss. And there's a certain way that I have to communicate with him.
Right.
And you need to communicate with me. And I we have open communication. So if I do something my students don't like, you can tell me. If I joke, because I do joke and I clown. If you feel like that hurt if you
You,
feel
you clown.
I,
You
I
joke and you
clown,
clown all the
I
time.
clown all the time.
All the time.
Like all the time. So, but I also know, like, hey, if I say something or I do something and you were the butt of that joke and it hurt your feelings, you can pull me aside and say, Miss Hammond, when you said such and such, I've had students be like, oh, Miss Hammond, you're mean because I'm getting on you. Then I need
Right.
example. Tell me
Mhm.
how I've been mean and what have I done to you so that I can correct it. But a lot of times it's no, I called you out because you're failing and you didn't like that.
Thank you.
And I don't like that you were a B student and now you've met a little boy and you want to ditch class and now your grade, the B that you had is now a D creeping onto an F. But I care about you, so I'm going to let you know you didn't like my delivery, but I will be remiss as your teacher when you've been excelling all year to notice some things and not bring them to your attention. So that's how but I've spent time in the beginning of the year. See, I don't have to mentally check in too much because I spend enough time building relationship. So we're not even diving into what I'm teaching you
Yep.
because I got to make sure the relationship. I'm fortunate where I get some return students. So I have at least 2 classes of students who've had me before. So they're good. My new students, I have to establish a rapport. They get to know me and I tell them, this is an elective. So you chose to be here, right? But you may decide, I'm not feeling her. We don't vibe. And it's okay.
Yeah.
It's perfectly fine. You get to pick another class so I constantly have students, ooh, now this is a few months in. Oh, I thought you was going to be me. Yeah, you did. But I have to set the tone so you know that in here, there's structure. You're
Right.
going to give respect. And those are the things. So you don't think that like we're going to do what we want to do. We're going to talk how we want to do. No, I'm still an adult and I still would prefer you not to curse in front of me. But maybe you do that in front of your parents or things like that. So there's certain requirements. And I feel like once I've set the tone, that works. So parents can just reinforce, like she is the teacher. She has certain
And so,
requirements and to follow that.
Yeah.
and so what I was saying about, come to me as an adult and not a child. So Paula she teach culinary arts. I teach special ed English. And my special ed kids are mild to moderate. They're mostly behavioral problems, or not problems, but behavioral conditions. And some of my parents probably have special needs too. But like, so if I'm calling you,
That went over my head for like
But I'm like, they
You
had a
know what I
plan, no
mean.
disrespect, but yeah.
got it. I
you
got
know what I
it.
mean.
Yeah.
So if I call you about your student's behavior in my class and I'm telling you, you know, your son or daughter was in my class cutting up, throwing gang signs, cussing and throwing chairs, when we speak, I don't want you cussing, throwing up gang signs. You know, I see where you get it from. I
Right.
can't talk to
They're
you.
modeling the behavior, right?
Talking to you is like talking to your kids. So yeah, I have to find a different way to do it. And so like also what we were saying earlier, like there's some teachers on campus who strictly there to teach.
Right.
They're not there to build relationships. They're not there to, you know, conform to the new standards and what they're there to give the material.
Right.
And that's it. There's some teachers that's there just to build relationships. They not teaching. They just there mentoring.
Mentoring, I don't even know if that's that. They there to be their home group.
They there to be homies.
Yeah, no, seriously. So there's no those situations you're talking about. I don't think there's mentoring involved. I think they're there. I think, what do I call that group? Never been kissed. No, never been kissed. When you go back to high school and you're reliving high school.
Yes. Yes. So
Okay.
some teachers
You know
are there just for that. There's no teaching happening in the class.
Yeah.
It's the kick is fine. Right. And so Paula and I, we have found a fine line. Like we're gonna be there for you. We're gonna make sure that you understand that this is a safe space, but you also gonna get these standards.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're there to teach. And that's the thing I try to tell students. I said, you know, when you go to a class and you get to do whatever you want to do, and you need to question how that teacher feels about you. Because I get it. Oh, it's free time. We get to kick it. So now you need to ask yourself, this teacher is charged with educating me and they're not. Do they care about you?
Right.
Because why would you be here to teach, but you're not teaching me and have all this free time? So they're really, when you think about it, they're doing you a disservice. They're doing you a disservice. That's it. I'm here to teach you. I want to make sure that you learn. So that's why I do the things that I do. So this whole, well, I'm done. I wanted such and such, or I have students constantly. I'm done. Why are you here? Oh, we're done. They said I could go. This is not college though. That's why they know with me, you're never done. Because in a culinary arts class, it's some laundry to be washed, fold, some things to be organized. There's always something. I know that the children will say that I work. They'll probably say, Miss Hammond, she always got us doing. Yes, I do. And I care about you. I do. I care about you and I care about your well-being. And that's what I'm here to do.
We are the last line of defense before they go into the real world, before they become adults.
Because like I tell them, the check comes on the first, whether I teach you or not. It's gonna come. They're going to pay me whether I do the things or not. But I'm doing the things because I want you to be prepared and I care about you and I love you. That's why I do the things that I do. You know what I'm saying?
So here's the question. Go ahead, Danielle.
No, I was just going to say in regards to what Jamie and Paula, what you guys shared in regards, first of all, with being triggered because we said what we said, but having that understanding and clarifying kind of, because I'm over here like taking mental notes of, as you guys are sharing, of how you have put in the work to set up this structure, physically, tangible items, but also behavior and I'm over here translating my clinical wording, but also just mental and emotional. So there is that very clear understanding in regards to the structure. When you come in my class, it's kind of like at night when the mom or whomever light that candle in the kitchen, do not step foot in the kitchen. You better drink the water out the bathroom, right? So in class, the candle was lit. What to expect. You never had to drink the water out the faucet. Remember how you used to turn it? Was that just me?
No, anyways. For me, it was the light on the microwave, the light on the stove. When that's on and everything else is off, you don't come in the kitchen. Kitchen closed.
Yes. Don't even put a piggy toe. You better drink anyways. But yes, we had a moment. So, but the students sound like the students do understand, or if they don't know, they find out because other students are going to hold them accountable. Like, oh, Miss, Miss, I was at Hammond. I want to make sure I say the last name right. She has. You can't do that in here. She got her candle going. You better go say hi. You gotta say good morning. So there are those students who are, I don't want to say you're cheerleaders, but who are receptive to the structure. And for the most part, probably have had life experiences that allows them to then understand certain aspects of why you guys are doing what you do the way that you're doing it. And then how you specify. Huh?
I said story time.
Story time.
Story time.
Wait,
go ahead.
Wait, Jamie, before you tell your story, I want to say something to therapist Danielle. As we're talking about the things, I think about when I started. So now I'm in my late 40s.
Okay.
Started doing this, I was in my my mid 20s, and I was still learning how to set the structure, how to figure it out. And there was a population of young women who just did not like me. Mm-hmm. And I had to new there trying to figure this out. Like, wait a minute, I'm setting my structure. I know I've read 100 Days of School, have all the things in place. I got to do this way, And there was a lot of pushback from girls who were like, and it was the little like, who she thinks she, like, who? Mm-hmm. And I had to fight through that. Mm-hmm. Who she, like, what? Who she? And just giving me all that. And I'm like, okay, in my brain, I'm like, dang, this is tough. But I need this job. I need this job and I need it to work for me. And I had to really, really come in hard with the structure, regardless of the looks. The people checking out, I don't like her, she da. And it took a while to set. So this is years in the making of setting it up. It took a minute. And then it took people, young ladies, to finally be like, yeah, she cool. Once I got that little, she cool, I haven't had to look back. I haven't had to worry, because there's certain students, and I'm talking back in 2004, 2003, where they're like, okay, after a little while, she's real cool. She definitely has a structure. She's definitely strict, but she's cool. And that buy-in really helps my career there, because if I hadn't had that, I think it would have been a lot different. Once they saw, like, I'm in your corner, I'm here to teach you, but I still have your back. I'm going to be here, if you need to talk to me. And I just started establishing all those things. And it's just been really, the relationship piece for me was way more valuable than what I learned in my credential classes, because I wouldn't have been able to survive just knowing like content, but not knowing, like, figuring out, wait a minute, they're in here at lunch. Like, why do they want to eat with their teacher? This is
right. I need my time. Okay.
I'm like, why do they want to
quietly?
Why are they talking? No, really? Because I thought back to my high school career. I didn't need to talk to my teachers. We sat down as a family every night and ate dinner together. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even though I didn't necessarily talk to my parents about a lot of the things, but like, we had that structure. So it was odd for me when you want to be in here at lunch. Like, why is she talking to, like, why are they starting to tell me, like, you know what I'm saying? You're starting to tell me your stuff. And when I tell you, once they began telling me that, it's never stopped.
Wow.
It's never like I had to like lean into and be like, okay, that's kind of that's what I'm needed here to do. Like, yeah, I'm teaching, but they need me for their stuff. And going back to being to that, first of all, going back to being in my 20s, I'm still figuring out my stuff. Like, I was a new mom. Once I got to Centennial, like, I've been a teacher longer than I've been a parent. You know what I mean? And so just like, dang, I'm still figuring out my little thing, and just having to be like, but I still know more than them. So let me go on.
help out. Okay, Jamie, you said story time.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So definitely the relationship thing it's a huge part of teachers. So you know how, like, when you're the boss or the supervisor and they say, make an example out of one of them and all the rest of them will fall in line, right? That works both ways. Right. You yell at somebody, make an example out of them, maybe fire them, or, demote them or whatever, and then everybody else will fall in line. But it also works on the other end. If you're nice to someone, you listen to them, you take care of them, you make sure that they understand that you got their back, they'll go and tell their little friends. Yeah. Because Paula has people that comes into her class that she don't even know. It's just that they friend like her. Yeah. And so now they come in and they want to be in her class. They want to sitting there at lunch. So here's the story. So Paula had a young lady that was in her class, and I had never seen her before, but I knew exactly who she was because she had the same face as one of my other students. So she was the younger sister of one of my students.
Okay.
So all I did, and I do this every single day, I walk into her class, either use the restroom or just stand there and we have a conversation about whatever, right? So I walk into her class and I'm just standing at the door, and this young lady does a full on turnaround and just stares at me. She looking at me like this. And so it took a couple of times for me to look at her before I said, "Hello, how are you?" And she said, "Fine," and kept looking at me crazy, right? I go to the restroom, I come out, she's still staring at me. I said, "Excuse me, do I know you?" And she was like, "No, you don't know me." And I said, "Okay, well, do we have an issue? Because I'm feeling like there's an issue." And she was like, "Ain't no issue." And so we start going back and forth. Like, okay, let me be honest. I do have my moments where I regress down to a teenager or a regular person.
No, it's not a regression. We were not always the refined women that they see before them today.
It's a regression.
Say that.
Paula confirmed that that's what it was.
Paula said, no.
It's a regression.
I have to remind
that moment, that's what it was.
Sometimes I have to remind myself that these people are paying me to be here, so I can't. check. Okay, so me and this young lady, we go back and forth. I leave the room. I'm pissed, right? So when I see her brother, I'm like, "Look, you need to check your sister. She needs to know who I am because she just went bananas on me for no reason. And you know I don't get down like that." And the brother was like, "She did what?" And at first he was like, "I mean, that's between you and her." I said, "No, it's not, because if it's between me and her, then it's also between me and you. So I'm gonna need you to figure that out. Handle it." The next time I saw that young lady, like, he and I never spoke about it again. The next time I saw that young lady, she was like, "Hi, Miss Puckett. You talking to me?" She was like, "Hi, how are you? You know my cousin?" "Yes, I know your cousin." "You know my brothers too, huh?" "Yes, I know your brother." And ever since then, we was cool. She still don't go to class, but we was cool after that.
The brother was
No,
like,
she don't go to class.
"Listen now, of all the teachers you're going to be fooling with, it's two of them you want to know."
And Trip, the brother, when I had him in the 9th grade, his cousin had been in my class maybe like 2 years prior to that, and I had adopted him as my son, right? So the cousin, when he was in my class, he had started to act ugly too. I called the cousin, and the cousin came and checked him. So it
they're pulling rank, but anyways, but
okay, we're gonna pause right here before Jamie talk her into a RICO case.
Only take one.
Right. So listen, y'all, thank you for riding with us here on KCCR Brownstone Cityscape Radio. We will come back. So we're gonna end this show. We're gonna do a part 2 that y'all can listen to next week. We love y'all. This is Coach Kiana, therapist Danielle, Paula Hammond, and Jamie Puckett with The Real on Parenting. We will see you guys